And now I just finished the questions from my friends. I move to another section, which is research goals.
Okay.
You say in one of the interviews that you are interested in fundamental questions, the ones you just mentioned at the beginning of this interview, and that's understanding what is a human.
Mm-hmm.
So my question would be, why do you want to understand this human? And as humans, we are very different.
Mm-hmm.
People from Africa are different from people from Latin America, and people in China are different from people in the US. So why do you want to understand the humans, and what is a human in your mind?
Okay, so the human is to think about the human. I mean, why we have this kind of a big brain, because we want to know the external world, and including ourselves, right? And of course, we need to survive in this world, but we have enough technology to survive, and our situation is getting much better and better, right? Then and but still, we want to do something. We want to keep some activities. So what is the goal of our activities? So that is to understand what human is. So yes. I think basically everybody is sharing the fundamental questions. So for example, this interviews, you are interested in a human, therefore you are interviewing me, right? And for the business is to provide the services to the humans. Therefore, the business people, they really understand what human is, right? Their requests from the humans. Okay, everybody is interested in the humans. So, and that is the humans. I think the human, we have a big brains. These big brains try to understand everything, including ourselves, right? And always thinking about the humans. So,
yes.
I don't know the definition of the humans, but if I define the humans, I will define like this. Human is always thinking about the humans. Therefore, we can be a human.
Yes. When we had the interview a few months ago, you mentioned that you were working on Erica to make it more intelligent. So has been so far any progress in the development of
we did
other robots?
One of the important goals is to make the robot pass the multimodal Turing test. Multimodal Turing test is a comparison between the teleoperated robots by humans and the robots controlled by computers. So if we cannot distinguish which is which, right? So that means the robot can pass the multimodal Turing test. It is not total Turing test. So total Turing test, it's almost impossible to pass it, because even if we carefully develop the very, very human-like robot, it's easy to see the difference between real humans and robots. Yes. Right? Because we cannot use the same material, right? We are using a different material. Right. But anyway, the multimodal Turing test is our goal, right? And we have tested the performance of Erica by inviting the 10 people, right? And the three of the 10 people, they said, "Oh, this robot is teleoperated by human." Okay. I don't believe this is the computer-controlled robot. Someone is operating the Erica. So the three of them say that. So that means that Erica could pass the multimodal Turing test for the 3 people.
Yes.
Of 10 people, right?
Yes. In a joint project with the Zen temple, you created Mindar. Do I pronounce the name correctly?
Mindar.
The priest, yeah, Mindar. So what is the story behind this robot priest?
This was a real collaboration with the temple, and in Buddhism, okay, and they have the very interesting questions. in the beginning of Buddhism, there was nothing about the statues of a Buddha. Okay, it was a kind of a right. Was just a sentence. The sentence is teaching the Buddhism, right? Teaching of Buddhism, and then someone draw the Buddha's pictures on the wall, right? And then someone and they made the relief, right? Relief is a kind, the 3D pictures, right? And then someone they made the statues.
Yes.
Okay? But now today's we have robot technologies. Why we don't move the statues by using robot technologies? So this is a new challenge that they were interested in, and they wanted to have a new challenge, right? Therefore, making the new types of more active Buddha statues, right? And and of course, I agreed with that. I thought that is my role, and in my side, I was very interested in a very special atmosphere of Buddhism, right? So Buddhism is a kind of the world of imaginations, right? And the Buddha's the Buddha statues is the people is communicating with the Buddha statue. In an imaginary world, it's a virtual world. So my question was, what is the virtual reality? So the virtual reality is to mixing up the virtual stuff and the real stuff, right? Therefore, I was interested in building the Minder, the Android. Minder Android is a canon Android. It is not the Buddha, second persons in the Buddhism. Okay. Anyway, so it's a it's a kind of a Buddha, the Buddha statues, right?
Yes.
And we have they combine that Android with projection mapping real people, right? So that the Android, the Buddha is talking with the people in the virtual realities, in the projection mapping. So that is the it's a kind of a new types of virtual realities. The virtual human is talking with the real Android, right? So we are mixing up virtual things and real things, right? In a new ways, and I think it was quite effective. So it was quite interesting challenge. So we could change the history of Buddhism, and we could develop the new types of virtual reality system.
Yes, and at practical level, how does it work? Like, where is it now, and do you need to check it, or how?
Yeah, and before the coronavirus, many people come to see that, right? And there is some. The small, it is not so small. The rooms for the maybe 30 or the 50 people. The 50 people can see the Minder. Minder is the Android, and the Minder is talking about the Buddhism, and they're talking with the projection mapping humans. And explaining about the important lessons in Buddhism, right? So it is quite impressive experience, but now we have a coronavirus situations. The people cannot they come to the temple.
Yes.
Therefore, we are not doing anything. But after the coronavirus. This is the pandemic situation, of course. That temple, they will accept the visitors.
Yes. Do you have to repair it? Do you have to check it often, or how?
Not so much. Maybe every 6 months.
Okay.
Every month, the company is giving a maintenance to the Android.
Okay, that's interesting, because I saw some videos about it, and it was very interesting to see how things are changing and replacing priests. How much of your time do you spend studying robotics or studying robots or artificial intelligence?
What do you mean? Every
How
day?
much, how much of your academic time? Yes, like is it entire your academic time, or do you have other things to do?
I did so many things, and but in academia, well, the robotics are very wide. That include the cognitive science, neuroscience, and mechanics, everything, right? So,
Yes.
and well, how can I say that? Always, I'm working for the robots, but I'm doing so many things.
Do you think robots might impact people negatively in some
Why?
way or another?
Why? Well, robot is a technology. Always technology is supporting our life, and without the technology, the human cannot survive. So, and of course, technology has some negative aspect, but so we cannot stop to use the technology, even if it is a nuclear technology, right? So, in order to generate the energy, so we need to have nuclear technologies. But in the near future, we may replace with the more natural energies, but at least today, so we cannot throw it away. And so anyway, what I want to say is robot is a technology.
Yes.
Technology has the positive aspect and negative aspect, but we need to keep using it.
Yes. There are some technologists who claim that robots which look like children, they might help to treat pedophiles.
Pedophile?
Yeah, people who abuse children.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
some technologists claim that one of them is called Ronald Arkin from the Georgia Institute of Technology, who claims that robots which look like children or child robots, they can be used to treat these people. What do you think? What's your reflection on this?
I see. I think that is a possibility, right? But I don't like to see that. No.
Okay. Yes.
Well, but that is that is a possibility. Yes, and if but it's quite important to carefully think about how to use that robot.
Yes.
Right. So, and if they punish the robot, they hit the robot. We don't like, the people don't like to see that kind of things. Right.
Yes. Yes.
So we need to have rules to use a robot.
Yes. Right. Do you deal with any types of the so-called sex robots?
Same things, right? So it depends on the relationships with the robot. It depends on the personal relationships with the robot. Okay, so of course, that some people may want to have that kind of things with the robots, but I think we need to have some rules.
Yes.
In such use case, right? And so we need to be careful about that, right? So otherwise, the people may have some misunderstanding about the robot technologies, and they may use the robot technologies in a bad way, right? Yes. So it's a role of a society. And societies need to control need to carefully think about how to use a robot for such kind of a purpose, right? So then that we have a better moral society. So that is a very important. Ethical issue is very important for us.
Yes.
Okay, so this is quite a fundamental things for the humans, right? And so we have that kind of a service given by humans, right? And before talking about that, we need to carefully thinking about that, the sexual services given by humans, and then that we can think about how we can use a robot for that kind of things. And the one of the positive use of sex robot is for the handicapped people. Handicapped people need to have that kind of help
Yes.
by with the robots, right? So and I think it depends on the users, and it depends on the individual person, right? How, right? So we can it's quite personal things, but anyway, so the that is a very important ethical topics. I mean,
What do you
but
think?
yeah,
Yes. Sorry,
but
tell me.
yeah, but the the ethical issue is important for our society, especially how to use that kind of robot.
Yes. What do you think about the news which says these people who are getting married with the androids, with robots?
Well,
I read it somewhere that people went to church to have a marriage, like a
yeah,
ceremony with
yeah.
robots.
um, well, that is the um, not so many people are doing that, right? So just one or two people, I guess, right? And but that is also the human right, right? So
Yes.
that is his choice, I think. That we have so many different people, in this in this world, in this society, and if he want to do that, of course, he has a right to do that. And
Do you think this might be a trend?
not so big, but if he cannot have relationships with the humans, and he prefer to have the robot partners, of course, he can have that, right? So it is I think it is not going to be a trend, but the a group of people will do the same things.
Yes. Where are the robots today? Where are they used? And do you see future for robots? Do you see more people will be using robots, or do you see robots becoming more integrated in our societies? Robots, I mean, different types of robots, but of course, humanoid ones are the kind of the most interesting ones.
Well, we want to use more robots, and definitely yes, right? So now people using the vacuum cleaner robots, and but in addition to that, we're gonna use more avatars, right? And some of them is going to be quite autonomous.
Yes.
And definitely, we wanna, and especially in Japan, so our population is going down to the half of our current populations. Without the support by robots, we cannot keep this societies. We cannot keep the quality of life in Japan. Right? Therefore, I think definitely we wanna use more robots,
Yes.
many kind of robots.
How many copies of your robots are now deployed in different places?
I have three copies.
3 copies of which one?
Gemini 2, HI2, Gemini 4 and 5. And mainly I'm using Gemini 5, and
Yes.
but the Gemini 2 and 4 is getting old, and we cannot use anymore. Right? We need to replace the many products, but it's better to have a new one.
Yes. And how about Erika and the others?
But still, Erika is quite active, and
Do you have only 1 copy, or?
No. We have 3 copies from the beginning, and then we probably 4 or 5 copies, I think,